Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another News Coolum video. So I'm about to make my regular 500-mile trip up to see my family. This is Christmas week, and normally I would leave from work, but I had packing to do, I had some shopping to do. So I came back and thought I would leave early in the morning, and that isn't happening. It never does. So I'm actually leaving at about 6:20 or so. The weather is a little bit chillier by California standards, but it's pretty much fall weather. And, we have a regular 500 miles to drive north. I don't know what the traffic's going to be like. I don't know really what the weather's going to be like. And I just more have a loose plan. I'm pretty well packed. If I had to guess, I had at least another 400 to 500 pounds of cargo beyond myself. So, that has a toll on efficiency and, just carrying around that extra load. And we might or might not pick up a passenger along the way somewhere. So we'll keep that in mind. Hopefully, the chargers at retail centers aren't blocked because I know this is a big shopping day. That's kind of why I wanted to get out early. And it's kind of why I like and I dislike chargers at places like Walmart. They're good for trips, but you also want supplementary travel chargers where, nobody in their right mind would want to stop there unless they needed to refuel. But anyway, it's going to be mostly freeway. And on the, bright side, I was able to charge up at a level 2 while I was doing some of my last minute Christmas shopping. So I'm about 95, 96% battery according to the My Chevrolet app. Hopefully it's just clear sailing. We'll see. I already hear traffic on the road, though. Loud ice cars. Let's get going. So we're about to crest Tejon Pass. Now, this is purely observational, but I had a fairly efficient trip when I came up on Thanksgiving, and I remember as we crested, I think I had close to 3 miles per kilowatt hour of efficiency, which seemed rather high to me. Now, normally when I leave work and there's not heavy traffic, my efficiency is about 2.8 miles per kilowatt hour by the time I get to this point on the mountain. But as you'll notice today, it's actually 2.5. And this is all in line with if I'm driving basically at freeway speeds the entire time, my efficiency is going to be significantly lower. So, during Thanksgiving, I was able to make it to Selma comfortably. Right at this point, I wouldn't be able to. Selma would be too far away for me to make. Now, again, we're cresting the summit, so it's going to get really, really efficient for probably the next 20 miles, but that still wouldn't be enough to bridge the gap necessary for me to go another 120 miles. So, as it is right now, Delano is 72 miles away, which if you look at my range estimator, it doesn't think that 72 miles is really reasonable based on the mid, but I'm probably going to see more like the max, so I'm actually fairly confident in making it to Delano just fine. But like I said, I need to take every opportunity I can along the way to see if I can get an open spot at a retail location. All right, well, yeah, it's 51, and yeah, our efficiency hopped up a bit. There's a leaf over in the other one, but Geneva is free, and that means I get to use the bathroom. Sweet. So hopefully this doesn't take more than 15 to 20 minutes, because after that I'll be in the slower charging range. And we should be at about 35% now. Or 32. All right. Call your shots. All right. Well, I did say we'd probably be picking up a guest, and well, we did, and actually, it turned out really well because I didn't have to do too much arranging. Apparently, Austrians are very accommodating, and yeah, we picked ourselves up a nice Austrian friend. Yep. He's got plenty of headroom. Austrians tend to be very tall, but you know, the Bolti V again accommodates. So I just went ahead and put him down on the seat, and you know, so he's all strapped in. Austrians also apparently follow the rules and wear their seatbelts. So say hello to our little friend that will be joining us for Christmas. Your route is showing. All right, I pretty much overstayed my welcome at this point. Been here almost 30 minutes, and added just under 19 kilowatt hours at 18.82. So I'm going to go ahead and stop. Thank you, Geneva. Thank you, Evigo. And thank you, Lowe's Garden Center. All right, so other than we're a little slow getting out of here, just because you know, it looks like that. I'm not sure I'm gonna blame the My Chevrolet app, but it does look like it kind of killed my phone for a second. Just random shutdown. So some combination of apps that's working, but yeah, I logged in the Selma EVgo charger. I might as well. It's 100 miles out, but the problem is, like I said, it just sort of kaputted on me, and so now the map finally came up. I can navigate there on my own, and I kind of already know the distance and how far we have to travel. So that's sort of the next logical stop for me. I mean, this does mean I might end up needing to make an extra stop, but I was kind of planning on doing that anyway. See a Volt in the parking lot. A Leaf at one of the chargers, and nothing at the other charger, so I think we're good. Yeah, I've seen more Leafs today than I usually do traveling, but at least there's no one there at 100%. Alright, so charging at 16%. Here we are, Holiday Inn. I wonder if they could do 150 to 200 amps on these cords. They would be way more convenient. Alright, well, the Leaf is still there, but I just went ahead and decided to have breakfast instead. So yeah, I've been here just a little more than 30 minutes now, so just under 25 kilowatt hours, 25.07 now. I'm going to do a quick check to see where I want to stop next, and then I'll end the charge and head out. But yeah, nice stop, use the bathroom. Weather's clearing up a little bit, hopefully efficiency improves. Here, I'm going to turn off the heater now. My Austrian friend doesn't like the heat. I don't like it either. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and weird, it's causing the charge rate to spike up to like 40, 42. Anyway, yeah, so I'm gonna, I think, target Modesto as the location we're gonna head to. So yeah, might as well just head out now. I have plenty of range to make it to Modesto. And really, I'm talking about Ceres, which should be the first location, and from there I'll just head on to any other chargers if I need to. Ceres isn't the ideal, but I don't want to have to deal with the congestion. And then this also sets me up to just go ahead and stop in Galt or something. I might stop and check the Electrify America chargers in Elk Grove because they've been offline for some strange reason. And I just want to check out the site, see what's going on. My Austrian friend brought in some bugs. It looks like. Yeah, who cares? Anyway, they don't bug me none. Gnats, gnats. Anyway, okay. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and head out. We're still charging at almost 40 kilowatts right now, but charge session could end soon, and we could step down soon, and it doesn't really matter at this point. I'm just gonna yeah, just gonna close out. All right, looks like we just stepped down. So 43 minutes, and we added 31.56 kilowatt hours. That's a little low, but I started a little bit higher than I would usually start. Well, we're coming up on Atwater, and you know, the more I travel this route, the more I realize that I would prefer to actually make a stop at Atwater, you know, most of the trips at this point. The problem is, though, the EVgo charger at Applegate Plaza is only one dual standard charger, and then the other is CHAdeMO only. And so it's a huge gamble if, you know, it's ever available. Yeah, so here you go. It's another hit and a miss. Well, maybe. Nope, because if you're a Nissan Leaf driver, you always take the dual standard. But let's see. Sometimes they just leave and it's already done charging. So we've come this far. It's worth checking out. I'm going to go ahead and log this in PlugShare. So essentially let EVgo know that I'm blocked. So could not charge. CCS. So I'm just saying that the Leaf driver is blocking the charger, basically. And hopefully EVgo gets the message that, you know, it's this charger really needs to be upgraded to having at least two, you know, of the dual standard. Upload a picture. You know, and I realize this takes time out of my travel, but you know, it's worth it. And given that they're only basically 10 minutes into the charge, I'm just going to go ahead and go on because that was the plan anyway. But again, had you not been planning this way and you're stuck here, you'd be waiting until they were done. Yep, posting it up, and now we're off. One more, I guess, nod in favor of this Ceres charger just south of Modesto. It looks like there's a pretty severe traffic backlog going through Modesto, and I don't know if that's road construction or, you know, because there is the mall and there's a lot of shopping in Modesto. It could all be due to that as well, or it could be an accident. It's not really showing up on here, but at least now I can take a 30-minute charge stop or whatever it really takes to get up to 55%, and hopefully that'll let whatever that traffic is clear up. Just about 6 hours in, and about 315 miles, so making okay time. It's a Challenger, not a Charger. Get it? Get it? All right. Actually, hopefully this should stretch far enough this way. I think this is one of the reasons that Electrify America is doing what they're doing. So let's see. Yeah, so right at 15%, like normal, like clockwork. So here we are. All right, well, actually that's almost exactly 30 minutes. That's what I put into PlugShare. It just stepped down now in the charge, so we're gonna go ahead and head out. Just at 54%, so that's pretty common. I feel like if the battery is cooled off. So let's go. And this can be a short charge because I am going to just go to Galt basically. Alright. The traffic is clearing up a little bit. It does look like we have another slowdown ahead a little bit, but yeah, all of that traffic was with the mall. Now I could see the EVgo chargers at the mall from the freeway, but just the tops of them. So I couldn't tell. They could have actually been occupied. They might have been free, but just looking at the on-ramp and off-ramp, it would have taken me another 10 minutes just to get to the chargers from the freeway. And looking at the parking lot at the mall, it was pretty packed. And that's about the time when you see people with electric vehicles, even if they don't have the ability to plug in or have any interest in plugging in, they'll still park at the EVgo chargers because it's electric vehicle only. There are sort of two levels of respect that you see for electric vehicle chargers. Is, you know, at the sort of basic level, the internal combustion engine vehicle drivers won't park there, right? So even if the parking lot is completely full, so I saw that like at Zion. I see that oddly more often sort of outside of California, where people really seem to respect electric vehicle charging spots. And you know, you'll go to a parking lot where the parking lot is basically full and there are no plug-in vehicles, but the electric vehicle spots are left open, right? That happened in Flagstaff, Arizona as well, when I swung by to look at, you know, watch the stars at Lowell Observatory. I then swung by a business park that had a couple of level 2 chargers there, and I plugged in while I was having dinner, but the parking lot was packed. In fact, the only free parking spots were the ones that belonged to chargers. And so I see that respect for those electric vehicle charging spots a little bit more, maybe ironically, outside of California, where they're seeing less use than they are here. I don't want to say it's a cultural thing, but I think maybe people are just more courteous in other states. It wouldn't be, you know, it wouldn't surprise me. And then sort of the next level of respect for EV parking spots is when EVs that can't plug in also respect those spots. And we're not quite there yet. And that's a violation that I see more often than not. It's EV only, and you'll see a Tesla Model 3, which, for those of you who aren't aware, even the CHAdeMO adapter for Tesla doesn't really work with the Model 3 at this point. So you'll see them parked at DC fast charging spots that are electric vehicle only. They can't use it. The Prius Prime is another prime example of that, or a plug-in Prius, where they'll also park in those DC fast charging spaces, but they just have a regular J1772 plug. They can't even plug in. So it's been a bit of a frustration for that Electrify America site that went in at the San Francisco Premium Outlets, I believe it is. It's the one in Livermore. They have 10 spaces, and a few different times EV owners have showed up, and maybe one car, like I think one picture it showed like a BMW i3,
that was able to sneak in there and was hooked up and charging, and the other 9 spaces were taken by vehicles that weren't plugged in, weren't charging. And the thing that's really odd about it is a majority, it seemed like, of those vehicles that were taking up those spaces and not charging were plug-in vehicles. There was a Model 3, there was a couple of plug-in Priuses. These are people who should know better, and it's really, really bad. In my opinion, it's very egregious if an electric vehicle owner blocks other electric vehicle owners.
It's warmed up a little bit, 55 degrees, and it did take, yeah, almost an hour and 10 minutes to get here, which is, like I said, only 55 miles. Charge door popped open. Talk about convenient. They have this here now. Yeah, and they repaired it. Don't be hating on Hayden. 30%. All right, well, this trip is getting old. My friend here is already throwing shade. I'm not exactly sure how I want to proceed with this trip, because no matter what, from the time I leave here, even if I don't need to stop to charge, we're still about 2 hours away. But this is also why I'm really excited for the Electrify America Dunnigan site, and I can't wait for it to get online, because it will literally save me 20 to possibly 30 minutes off of my trip time. I could have left here when I hit 55% battery and easily make it to Dunnigan, at which point I would only need maybe a 15 to 20 minute charge. But now I'm going to have to stay here for maybe 20 to 30 minutes past 55% just to have enough energy to reasonably make it home. I think I am going to stop by the Electrify America site in Elk Grove. I just want to see if it's working. If it's not, maybe I can contact Electrify America customer service. Maybe they can reboot the system, but it sounds like they were having a connection issue. But either way, it would be nice to verify for myself to see what's going on with that charger. It is a retail location, not ideal on the weekend before Christmas. I might take me forever just to get to the chargers. We hit 74%. This means it's actually just as fast if I need to use a 25 kilowatt charger on the way up, or 24 kilowatt charger. So I'm just going to go ahead and end this. So this might not be a very good, I took a southbound last time I came. This might not be a very good northbound charger, and I would never use it for that anyway, so that it doesn't really affect me, but it might affect some people. It's really strong BO, by the way. Luckily it smells like pine needles, but it's pretty strong. Alright, so here's the thing. It looks like these chargers are up. And I feel like I should pull very, very close to this person so that they know that they shouldn't really be charging. I say charging. They shouldn't be parking there. Actually, I don't know if the cord will reach from here, but it should be interesting. All right, well, it's busy here, but according to this, it looks like these are on. So let's see what happens. I actually think maybe, I don't know that this will even reach here. I probably shouldn't even open this yet. Yeah, it's not going to reach cross spot. I don't know how centered you have to be. I've used this one before, I believe. All right, so here we are. I'm going to go ahead and insert my card. So it looks like it's not able to accept the payment. I might need to call them. All right. Well, despite being very busy and having to escalate to customer service, I was able to get one of the Electrify America chargers here at the Walmart in Elk Grove working. Yeah, they seem to be having some issues with their payment readers. It doesn't actually seem to be the charger itself that's broken. It seems to be just the card reader that's not accepting the payment right. But anyway, we rebooted a couple of them. The repayment on this one rebooted properly. The repayment on number 2 didn't reboot properly, and the payment reader on number 1 didn't reboot properly either. I don't know. This is going to be hit or miss, but it seems like the weak link right now with Electrify America's build out is whoever that NIX or whatever payment reader is. It seems to be having some serious issues, and I don't know if that's in communication back end, or if it's just not integrating well. But I did ask about their payment options, such as like an app to activate, or a some sort of an RFID card reader with an account, and they said it was going to be early 2019 before that was going to be available. So when that happens, though, I think you're going to see the consistency and reliability of these stations increase, because I'll be honest, as nice as it is to not have to have an account and just put a credit card in and pay at the charger, it is so much easier to use an RFID or an app. It's just ridiculously more simplistic to do so. And eventually, maybe with CCS2 or whatever, where it can auto read the car and you have a back end account that's tied to the VIN, um, it'll integrate even better than that or easier than that. But in the meantime, uh, I would just settle for an RFID that you can just swipe and it charges your account and you're done. And then of course this is super expensive for, I don't know what's not really that necessary of a charge for me. This was more, I was just stopping here to see if I could get this up and running, because I was tired of all of the couldn't get it activated and I just walked away posts on PlugShare. And we're only charging at 24 kilowatts. Ugh. Hopefully, this will be the last time that I need to make this slow of a northbound trip. Because really what's holding it up is having to charge where I charged for as long as I needed, was there charging. So hopefully that won't happen or be necessary moving forward. And this is true both of whether I continue to take Highway 99 or Interstate 5 north. So we're about 60, 70 miles that we have to go. So as long as I can make it here, then a really quick top off, and I for sure will be able to make it, home or to my family's. So, and this is a super easy exit. You just off the off ramp right here, no big deal. You can tell people are here. I mean, it's not like this is an abandoned site. It's actually fairly well trafficked. But if you want to eat a Jack in the Box, I suppose you can. Mini Mart that's almost never open. Another Mini Mart. So you have stuff on all the corners, right? And you really use fast chargers when you're staying at a hotel, but when you're at a hotel motel, this is still an option.
Okay, so that was not a charger, that was the actual three-phase transformer. Interesting. Now, the thing that I was trying to figure out, though, is I counted 5 units. Huh. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, up to 150 kilowatts. Okay, so here's the Done Again Electrify America site. It's not powered on yet, obviously. These are the ABB chargers. Now, the thing is, here's the 350 kilowatt chargers, nicely oriented for a vehicle like the Bolt EV. Though probably don't want to be using those. Um, so I wonder if that additional ABB cabinet I saw was a some sort of a power splitter then, not necessarily a charger. Okay, and then another set of the 350 kilowatt heads. And then here's the 150 and then the 50 kilowatt CHAdeMO. So yeah, it looks like it is going to only be 4 units here. But I actually am not, as long as they're not offering the power splitting, I'm not too concerned about the way these are oriented. But it is kind of interesting. You could actually pull in head first here with shorter vehicles. Um, but I really wish they would actually look into doing the power splitting, because then you really want like a set of parking spaces between. So one of these units, I mean, keep the orientation, uh, but you know, this unit would be on the other side of where my Bolt EV is, and then this would be facing in, and then another parking spot on this other side. That would be my suggestion, but they're not splitting power, so it really doesn't seem like it's that big of a deal. But it is nice to see now we have 2 350 kilowatt heads here, 150 kilowatt and 50 kilowatt there, and then 350 kilowatt here, and another 150 dual head over here. So very nice, very impressive. Um, Looking forward to using these. These will literally save me 20 to 30 minutes on my trips. So this is Electrify America's new Done Again site. Not powered on yet. They're hoping before the end of the year. It's probably just a matter of permitting. I think maybe it's Yolo County, I think, is technically where we are. Hopefully they can push this through pretty quick. But yeah, when these come live, this will literally save me a minimum of 20 minutes per trip, possibly as much as 30. So I'm really looking forward to it, and we're burning daylight. Let's head out. This is going to be sweet. 350 kilowatt chargers, 250 kilowatt chargers, and a CHAdeMO head in case they need it. I thought it was going to be 5 units, but I guess that was an extra ABB box, but still, I've got no complaints. That's one sweet implementation, and really, like I said, at this point, it means that I don't have to charge past 55% at any point in my trip north, which is huge. That's a big time savings. And then on top of it, the fact that I'll be charging at 50 plus kilowatts, there you go. So yeah, I think based on what I know now, it might actually be it might actually be possible to make my trip in less than or about 9 hours. That is an awesome looking sunset, though. Red sky at night, sailor's delight. We made it. It cooled off a little bit going up the hill, but not too bad. And the 492 miles. So it was a little over 11 hours, about 11 and a half hours, which, given the amount of time I spent at the Electrify America sites and trying to get the one in Elk Grove hooked up and just checking out Dunnigan and then the traffic. Yeah, that kind of tallies properly. So, and it's not a 518. That was actually part of my work commute. So we only did 492 today. Overall, it was a pretty fun trip, and I got to take my time and do some cool stuff. So, well, time to get Arnold Schwarzpine tucked away. Good night.